Let's get more on China's energy rationing. We're joined in the studio by Dave Dai. He's Regional Head of Clean Energy and Utilities at Daiwa Securities right here in Hong Kong. Dave Dai, thanks for coming in. How bad is the situation there in China? I mean, we're listening, 70% of its energy needs come from coal, and I think they've only got 8 or 9 days of stockpiles before it runs out.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very hot topic, and based on the government estimates, I think we're going to see about 30 gigawatt of power shortage in terms of capacity by the summer, and I think 63% of that 30 actually comes from the coastal areas. 3 provinces, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Guangdong. I think, and the rest of the shortage comes from some of the central provinces. I think it's very important for us to differentiate between the shortage in the east, also in the west. Because for the east, we think it's a real shortage. First of all, the power demand has been very strong, driven by energy-intensive industries. Secondly, the power capacity growth in the past few years has been very slow, driven by the pollution standards. So I think the power shortage situation may last a bit longer, maybe even more than the summer.
Really? Will we have rolling blackouts and things like that?
I think that's a preemptive measure posed by the government because of all these huge shortage in the summer, it's probably better for the rationing to start now. So I wouldn't be surprised if the rationing measures get a lot tougher next year. But the shortage situation in the central province is a little different because I think that's more driven by the loss-making power plants, which are running out of cash to buy coal. I think the short-term measure may be somehow the government can come up with a tariff increase, give back some of the cash flow so they can generate electricity, turn on some of their power plants.
What is the impact of, because a large swathe of China's also had a drought for a long time, on the hydroelectric side, what are we seeing there?
Yeah, I think definitely this year, because last year was a pretty wet year. This year definitely going to be a lot drier, maybe approaching the average rainfall level for the past 50 years. I think that's also part of the reason driving the central province in terms of shortages. But I think that's a minor reason. The major reason will be the loss-making status of some of the power plants.
Okay, looking ahead, how does China address the energy shortage it is suffering from? I mean, do we go towards clean tech, and people do underestimate the amount of green energy that China does produce, or does it go to nuclear, let's say?
You're right. I think there's something that will now change. Will be China's long-term commitment to clean energy. That includes nuclear, wind, solar, and a lot of other renewables. But those things will take time. Like for example, nuclear power plants will take 5 to 6 years to build. So in the short term, let's say looking at the next 5 years, I think China's economy will definitely be driven by coal again. So what will happen in terms of shortages? I think China may need to ramp up more coal-fired power capacities in the next few years. But in later years of this coming decade, I think there will be a lot tougher on the coal side and ramp up more clean.
So if I was to talk to you in 5 years from now, with that 70% figure of power coming from coal, where will we be?
I think 5 years will be 70% may come from 65%, but looking at 10 years, I think that portion may come from 60%. Because the government is talking about 15% of the power will come from renewables and also nuclear by 2020. So it's more like a long-term plan. Short-term, it will definitely be coal.
Just want to also get to a point you made as well about the price of coal. As it keeps on going higher and higher, we end up with greater shortages. So is there a price point we get to when they go, well, hang on a second, we really can't afford this?
Well, I think, as my memory serves, I don't think the government has done a very good job of controlling the spot coal price. They basically capped the contract coal price early this year. But if you remember the case in 2008, I think at a similar level, government did come and intervene in the spot market. So I'm not sure whether they're going to do it this year, but definitely this level of coal price has been partially contributing to the shortages at this moment.
Dave, thanks very much indeed. Dave Day there from Daiwa Securities Capital Markets is taking a look at the energy situation there, suggesting there could be rolling blackouts over the course of the summer because of an energy shortage there in China.